White glass vase, molded/blown with lost wax casting, a technique derived from an ancient process for casting bronze, with an amber-colored glaze. The vase is decorated with 4 medallions embellished with the heads of Gorgons, monstrous creatures of Greek mythology, whose hair, in the form of snakes, intertwine with naked human bodies. The use of decorative elements which simultaneously repulse and attract is characteristic of the artist's production in the Art Nouveau style. The vase, a unique piece, is part of a glass set produced at the beginning of Lalique's career as a master glassmaker, in which Calouste Gulbenkian, particularly aware of the potential of the artist, his personal friend for over 5 decades, collected in considerable quantity.
If I were to ask you the question, what is a Gorgon? It's likely that many of you would point towards the most famous example that you can think of, Medusa. And although you may be correct, because Medusa was in fact a Gorgon, it's a question that is far more difficult to answer. The image of a Gorgon that we paint today has been somewhat skewed and distorted by the media we consume, to the point where it barely even resembles the original stories of Gorgons within Greek mythology itself. If I were to show you this rough image, or outline, it's very likely that most of you would still be able to tell me that what you see is either Medusa or a Gorgon. But if I then show you this image, I'd hazard a guess that only a few would identify what they see as a Gorgon. So how did we go from one to the other? And the answer itself is quite simple, the mainstream media and Hollywood. Medusa has always been a popular Greek tale, but in 1981, with the release of the original Clash of the Titans movie, the image of Medusa as a snake was well received by most audiences, and thus the trend began. In the years that followed, many of the movies, TV shows and artwork depicting Medusa and her fellow Gorgons showed them as snake-haired women.
Got tired of staying within the framework of precious monotony, he decided that it was necessary to dare. To realize his childhood dreams, to create something new, daring, even outrageous, and he certainly succeeded. Of course, I have already written about the most famous creations of a genius and a hooligan from jewelry art. But René Jewel's Lalique is simply endless, and he has rare works of art, which in my opinion, outshine even his most illustrious masterpieces. The intricately decorated world of nature, femininity and love was a reflection of the French master's sensuality and imagination.